All right. Welcome. It is good to see everybody here. As soon as I can show my face, it is not only me, but we have my good friend.
Hey, yo!
And my boss, the main man, Mike. Mute Master Mike is what we like to call him on Tuesdays. If you ain't muted, hey, Mute Master Mike is coming.
Hey, I mute my mama.
He'll mute everybody. No one's safe from getting muted by Mute Master Mike. You know what I'm saying? Not even Mike himself is safe from getting the mute
That's
button
right.
on him. Mute Master Mike is here. He's in the building. It's good to see all you guys here. Yes, and answer your question, guys. Mike, we are gonna play the good old fashioned. We're gonna play the good old fashioned staff game, man.
That's right.
We got the staff game going for you guys. So while we wait for other folks to kind of trickle in here, Chris, what's up, man? What's up, Chris?
Chris.
As we wait for you folks to trickle in, we are going to go ahead and play that game. So as I get that set up, Mike, you got something funny to share? Well, I get that.
Yeah, I went running today.
Ha! Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know what? When I was young, things didn't jiggle the way they jiggle now. It's really annoying.
Wait. So the goal is to not jiggle?
Yes, that's why you run.
Jiggleless
running. Once you get to that point, then you could probably do something else. Modeling or something.
I am missing the mark. I am grossly missing the mark.
I'm with you.
Okay. Y'all know the deal. Same rules as always.
All right.
You don't know the deal. This is how it works. It's a simple who knows the staff best question. Every correct answer wins you opportunity. Will win you opportunity to enter into raffle this week. As we raffle things off this week, I think we have some gift cards available. Is that what it is, Mike? Target gift cards?
Gift cards.
Target gift cards. So as we raffle things off this week, as you answer questions correctly, you enter into raffles, you win things, you win money. We like giving out money. Who doesn't like money?
I like money.
I like money too. Me and money, we go well together.
It's just rare. It's like an endangered species in my house, though.
I know. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah, it's always a futile hunt. It feels like. All right. So if you guys are ready, let's get this going, and we'll let people trickle in as this goes.
Oh man, here we go.
Okay. All right.
Well,
What was Jimmy's first car? I think we might have asked this question before. If we have, then you guys should know this answer.
I don't know, man. I can see you driving all those cars.
A Honda Civic, man. Can you see me? Can you see me driving a Honda Civic, a Toyota Camry, or a Chevy Malibu? I mean, like, y'all.
Don't you have a Malibu now? I thought you had a Malibu now.
I have a Malibu now. Yes, I do have a Malibu.
That's right.
I do have a Malibu now. I was just trying to throw y'all off.
Okay. All right. How much was your first car?
My first car was $1,000. $1,050 was actually.
Oh, okay. That's definitely a Toyota Camry then.
Jonathan knows this. He does, because he's been my best friend since ever. So Jonathan's gonna know the answer to this question. Gabe says A.
Yeah.
We got C for
Chris.
For Chris feels like I'm doing that reverse psychology on him.
I think I like that.
A smart. Good.
What was your first car?
Gabe is convinced I am an A, and so we will see what I am. It looks like Gabe and Chris are the only ones that are answering.
You think it's a good chance?
Yeah. It is
Chevy Malibu.
It is B, Chevy Malibu. So I went from a old beat up Chevy Malibu to a Nissan Maxima, then to a really nice Chevy Malibu, and then maybe one day I'll get an even nicer Chevy Malibu. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that.
I had my first car was a Pontiac Firebird.
Oh, I remember those cars.
Yeah, it was
cars
awesome.
are interesting looking.
Dude, the headlights went up like this.
Yeah, they look. Those things. I remember. I used to be enamored with those things. All right. Next question. What did Mike want to be growing up? A football player, a doctor, or both? Maybe he wanted to be both, because after he got done beating himself up playing football, he could treat himself as a doctor.
That's
and it
right.
would save himself some medical things.
Yeah. Boy, I don't remember answering this question. I'm sure I did. I was pretty fast. That's the only thing that kept me going. But I'm not that big. That was not helpful.
We'll wait for some answers to trickle in. Okay, so we got A for Chris, football player. C for both for Gabe.
Yeah.
What will it be? What will it be? Man, I don't know.
Football playing doctor.
We got some more guesses coming in.
Sounds like a sitcom.
I don't know.
He plays football at night, and during the day, he's a doctor.
I don't
Living
know.
with his great cats in San Francisco.
All right. It was C, both. Good job, Gabe. Hey, Gabe, you're trying to get this gift
He's
card.
on. Hey.
Gabe is on it, man. Gabe wants this gift card really bad. All right, here we go. Last question. All right. What is Janelle's favorite movie?
Oh.
Okay. I legitimately don't see her watching Lord of the Rings ever, actually.
No? When Lord of the Rings, what, she's 25?
Yeah, well, yeah, she's 26.
26. So Lord of the Rings came out in like early 2000s. So she would have been like pretty young. I could see it. I could see her having like all the dolls and stuff too.
Man, I don't know. Warlocks and dragons and orcs and what was that?
Hobbits.
That's what it was. Hobbits. I don't know. I don't see it. Now, I went to school with her, and I remember the group of kids growing up that was like super, super into that stuff.
That's what I'm telling you.
There was like a whole clan of children that were like deep into Lord of the Rings. But I don't remember Janelle being part of that clan, if I can recall. I think it's Parent Trap. That's what Jared. That's a style. I think that's Janelle's.
I don't know. Parent Trap's pretty old, isn't it? When did that come out?
Silly prank humor. That's Janelle's style. She's always liked silly prank humor. Hitch is a really good movie.
I love Hitch.
Hitch is amazing. Everybody loves Hitch. If you don't love Hitch, you don't love love. That's what it is. If you don't love Hitch, you don't love love. That's what. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Let's see. Here we go. Parent
Trap. All right.
All y'all picking C? Picking C? Y'all don't trust me?
Hitch. Who doesn't like Hitch though?
Yeah, I agree. You know what though? If you picked Hitch, I'm not mad at you. I'm really not. But
Hitch might be rated PG-13 though. You think about like when she was younger, it might not have been PG-13. It's got to be like late 90s. When did that come out?
Hitch?
No, Parent Trap.
Parent Trap, yeah. Parent Trap is 90s movie.
Yeah.
For sure. It's a late 90s movie. And they had multiple versions of it as well.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, as far as your answer, Chris, Hitch is a Will Smith movie. And
it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Go watch it. If you have Netflix, go watch Hitch on Netflix. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. It's a great date movie. It's a great just watching if you want to laugh movie. It's a good feels movie. It's funny. It's got Paul Blart in there.
Yeah.
So if you like Paul Blart, you'll like
he comes in and what was the guy's name again? Kevin James. That's Paul Blart.
Kevin James. That's his name.
He comes in with a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. And Will Smith goes, "What you doing, man?" He goes, "Well, maybe if I eat a bunch of these, I'll have a heart attack and my heart won't hurt anymore."
Oh no, man! Yeah, that movie, man. That movie brings back some really good memories. So if you guys haven't seen Hitch, maybe tonight after support group, go watch Hitch. Jessa, you did not make me watch it. I wanted to watch Hitch. I think you make me watch it. I use a lot of reverse psychology when it comes to picking movies with Jessa. She thinks that I don't want to watch something, and so then she'll like push it, and then I actually do really want to watch it.
Yeah, right.
So I do a lot of that. But yes, Hitch is an amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Okay.
Young Will Smith.
Yes, we love young Will. Okay. So, as the title reads, if you guys haven't seen the title of this video, I have a message I want to share with you guys. So I will be kind of just sharing some reflections here. And Mike, if you want to stick around, you can. If you want to go, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'll just jump off. I'll stay on the stream, but I'll just jump off for now.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we will see Mike.
Oops, wrong one.
We will see you later, Mike. Okay, so what's up, BTOWN? What's up, if folks, friends, volunteers, those who just may be popping in just to say hi and what's up? I have some things that I want to share, and I know I'm smiling. I know I'm positive and happy, and I'm just a positive and happy person. You know, that is just my nature. That is just how God made me to be. But I cannot lie when I say that these past couple weeks have been some of the hardest weeks I think so far this year have been some of the hardest experiences for me personally in a very long time, probably since the loss of my dad. Like it's been a challenging week, or it's been a challenging year, I think, for me. And so I had just some personal reflections, some things that I wanted to share with you. And then when we go into support groups after, I wanted to invite you to maybe have some of your own reflections, have some of your own thoughts and words and things you might be willing to share with your groups. So with that being said, I wanted to talk about the word despair. And how many of you guys feel like you know what despair means? If you know what despair means, hit a comment in the chat. If not, I'm just going to explain it for you real quick. I'm going to share with you kind of what the meaning of despair is. And for me, it's despair is a feeling I get when I see a lot of darkness around me and I don't see a way out of the darkness. I don't see like the light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of times, we feel like we're in a marathon, we're in a race, we're running, we're aspiring to do things, we're trying to achieve things, and then you see this light at the end of the tunnel and you run towards it and you're trying to get to your goal, you're trying to hit your mark. But despair is a moment in which you lose sight of that light, which you lose sight of that goal, you lose sight of, and you just all you can see is kind of just the darkness around you. And that was me. That was me this weekend, if I'm being honest. That was me last week. Obviously, if you've seen some of the news lately, it's been pretty like depressing just to process it all. But I'm not gonna just tell you that I was feeling down. I actually want to invite you guys in to why and to where these feelings came from and to how it all happened. So to do that, I actually got to start with a buddy of mine, a friend of mine. His name's Caleb. I grew up with him. He was a good friend of mine. We shared a lot together. We shared a lot together, spent a lot of time together. A little under 2 years ago, I was with him as we watched his mom pass away from cancer. We were in the room together and we cried together. And Caleb has had his own journey with the U.S. justice system. He's had his own journey that has shaped his life story, that has shaped his entire 20s since he was 19. All over a stolen iPad. He's been plagued with arrests and in and out of jail and things like that, for minor infractions, all these different things, all because of an iPad he never stole at the age of 19, but he was accused of stealing. And so when George Floyd was murdered, I think for me, it was just a highlight of so many things that in so many ways I've seen our justice system fail us and fail people of color. And Caleb, by the way, if you're wondering, yes, he is Black. And I was watching him go through this, and Caleb, at the same time, he wasn't really one to complain. He was just, one. He knew he needed help, so he reached out to me, and I wanted to step up and just love him and help him and care for him, and I did that. But to be honest, because of everything that has happened with his life, he's had to start his life over multiple times. Just with being incarcerated for minor infractions, and then dealing with PTSD and a lot of things that come with that. He's had to deal with a lot. And so, I made it my mission to support him and love him. And, when I saw the events of George Floyd and I saw how deep how deep just the hate and the hurt goes when it comes to fighting against a system that wasn't designed to help you. I think for me, I started to feel that a little bit when I watched my friend Caleb and I tried to support him. So that was one thing that I was dealing with last week, and I would love to talk more about that, but I don't want to stay on that for too long, because the next thing I wanted to share is regarding another friend, actually my first ever mentee. So you guys know me for a long time. I've been mentoring youth at Treehouse for a long time. If you're one of my Treehouse boys, holler back, what, I love you, all that stuff. But one of my first times mentoring a young man was in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. Long before I knew anything about Treehouse, I was a mentor in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, and I mentored this young man for several years. And I watched him grow from the age of 8. Now he's 16. He's a young man, but 2 years ago he had to move away, and he moved to Iowa, and at that point the program told us that because of him moving, that effectively ended our mentor-mentee relationship. Well, for me, that's just not how I roll. I don't mentor you because I'm in a program. I'm in the program because I want to mentor you. That's just kind of how I roll. And so, I stayed in contact with him, stayed in touch with him. We talked on the phone here and there. But recently he told me he came back to Minnesota, and I was excited to reconnect with him. And I did this past week. And when I did, I think he shared some things that no 16-year-old should ever have to witness. He had witnessed the deaths of many of his friends due to violence. He had been disconnected from his mom, and in a lot of ways just became estranged from his mom at a really young age. And when I saw that, I think that broke me a little bit, because I just saw the promise in this young man. I saw how hard he was fighting. I saw with him what an amazing kid he was, and it was just hard for me to fathom him going through the things that he had endured the past 2 years. Sharing things about just him surviving, things he had to do to survive. And I just felt like it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair that a kid like him, who is amazing, who is respectful, who's caring, should have to suffer the things that he had to suffer the past 2 years. And some things he had to suffer his whole life. And I think that hit me a little bit too. And then the nail in the coffin for me, wasn't the nail in the coffin, but remind you, this was all on top of processing the death of George Floyd. But the nail in the coffin for me was when I found out on Sunday that someone I served with at church as an intern. I was an intern at my church for a long time, but someone I served with at church, and she was a Treehouse staff at some point, and so we connected on that level. But she had very suddenly and with no explanation passed away over the weekend. And I remember texting her husband, and again, she was really young. She was, 26 years old. And I texted her husband, and I asked her husband if I could do anything for him, and he just said, "Man, I just need help holding my arms up in prayer." And he talked about how much she looked up to me, and she admired me in my relationship with Jessa, and she looked up to me in what we get to do at Treehouse. She was inspired. For me, I couldn't understand why someone at 26 could just go like that. My brain can't really understand it all. So Monday morning, I walked into this week feeling despair, feeling like there was absolutely no way out. I did not see a light at the end of the tunnel. I know that we have goals. I had so many goals when it came to social justice, when it came to when it came to dealing with racism, and I had so many goals, all these things that I was just aspiring to do, to serve, and after Sunday night, I sat and I thought, I was like, I absolutely have no way to walk forward in this. And that's where I felt despair. And if you've ever felt like that, if you can relate to that, you can just put I can relate in the chat. But that was me. I genuinely felt like I had nothing to do, nothing to say, no way out. And I even felt guilty because I wanted to go out and protest. I wanted to go out and fight for, your rights and freedom. As a proud African American, I wanted to make my mark in history, but I was immobilized by this weekend. And I thought that for some of you that may be the case. For some of you, you may be feeling like seeing everything happen with current events, seeing things happen in politics, seeing things happen in your city, things on fire, family members hurting. I know that for some of you that you feel like that there's no way out either. Well, I come to tell you that there is a way out. And that way out came to me through a conversation I had with another person. Hey, Angie. Hey, Alyssa. Hey, Jessa. Thank you for relating. And Jonathan, I appreciate you relating. It came through a conversation with another person. I was in one of those those scary social media arguments over the weekend. I was, someone had posted something I saw and I disagreed with, and so I'm commenting like, this isn't accurate, and I'm commenting back, and we're going back and forth to the point where I just stopped and I said, instead of me trying to fight this person on social media, why don't I just call this person? And Korean, I don't know why it never occurred to me to just do that, but I decided to do that this time. I just said, let me call this person. And Jessa was with me as I called this person, and she shared about how she had, different beliefs about George Floyd. She shared about how she had she felt like people were being unfair to police officers, and she shared all of her thoughts and opinions. And I remember being in that conversation, and my goal was only one thing. I refused to attack her as a person, attack her character, because that's all I saw on social media. It was someone posting something that someone else disagreed with, and then immediately attacking that person. And then that person shutting down and being unwilling to engage in a way that was humble and that was loving. And so that led me to the real solution that helped me walk out of this despair. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still struggling with some things, but I at least know that I have a way out. But to be able to do this thing, to get to where I was in this conversation, where I wasn't no longer willing to attack this person and fight against this person, I had to do something in myself. I had to be self-aware. For those of you who don't know, self-awareness, to be self-aware, it implies that you are mindful of how others both feel and think in their confusion and in their hurt. I know during these crazy times, people are both confused and they're hurt. And so they're spewing things, they're saying things. And when I realized that, I also realized another thing, that people aren't my enemy. That I realized that this girl that I was talking to that disagreed with me fundamentally on on everything regarding racism to the death of George Floyd to police brutality, all these different things. She disagreed with me on all these different things. I realized she wasn't my enemy. Matter of fact, nobody in conversations you engage with on social media is your enemy, but rather what you're fighting against is not racist people, or you're not fighting against people with bad ideals, but you're fighting against the ideals and ideologies themselves. You're fighting against racism in and of itself. You're not fighting people. And so when you get to the point of realizing you're dealing with a person and you recognize their hurt and confusion, that invites them to recognize yours as well. And I invited her in to recognize my hurt and confusion, and she did. And we had a very open and honest and caring conversation. And at the end of it, she prayed with me. And it's crazy, and I know a lot of people think, well, it's crazy to believe that Christians could think differently on this subject, how Christians could not acknowledge racism, this is that. To me, it didn't matter. What mattered was I saw her as a person worthy of love, and she saw me the same way. We tell you guys these treehouse truths every single Tuesday. You are lovable, capable, worthwhile. You are loved without strings, and you are never alone. We tell you these truths every single Tuesday. But I'm going to tell you something really, really important. That for you to say these truths to yourself, it requires that you believe these truths for everyone else. Even people who don't look like you, people who don't think like you, people who say things on social media that may seem ignorant, people who say things that are hurtful, people who don't even acknowledge your own humanity. You must believe these truths for everyone else. And when you do, it invites other people to believe those truths for you. I can't make somebody see me as a lovable, capable, and worthwhile human being. I can't make somebody see me that way. I can only believe that for myself and believe that for them. And maybe, just maybe, that invites them to believe those things about me. And that can start the conversation. And a conversation that maybe ends in prayer, ends in love, ends in support. And I didn't set out to change her mind. I didn't. I set out to just have a conversation with someone who was worthy of love. That was it. And so maybe just instead of attacking people on social media, seeing all the hate, and wallowing in the despair, maybe you could think of yourself a little bit differently. Recognize the truths that you were made to be, that God made you to be. Lovable, capable, worthwhile, love without strings, and not alone. And someone with a future. And believe that for everyone else, and believe it together. That's what I hope for you guys. This is my message to you. That as you walk forward through the despair, that you recognize that our way out of this is together. And to do that together, we must be willing to see each other and to see ourselves the right way. So that's what I want to share with you guys today. And that's what I hope you guys can take from this. I know we went a little bit longer than normal. And I hope you guys maybe took something from this today. Now, like always, if you are a young lady and you want to engage in discussion today, the link is in the description. Now, when we engage in this discussion, I ask that you view everyone else in your group as lovable, capable, worthwhile, love without strings, never alone. Not afraid to share a differing opinion. It's okay to share a differing opinion, but to do it with love and humility. And if you're a young man, I encourage you to do the same. That we look at each other the right way, and we engage with each other, seeing each other as lovable, capable, worthwhile, and love without strings. Let's do that today as we walk in the support group. Let's encourage each other to share our truths in this matter, because I know some of you guys are dealing with some deep hurt. And I want to walk with you guys with it together. So if we're ready to do that, I encourage you now, look in the description, click the link, and let's be a family. Family doesn't mean that we don't disagree. You know? No one ever said we wouldn't disagree. But it does mean that we're willing to walk through it together. So click the link. Let's have a discussion. Let's love each other in support group. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you for listening. Bye.